Namaste, Adab, Sat Sri Akal. Dr Anand here, recovering from Bob B's program. I've taken a couple of aspirin, as the GP normally does, after a very difficult patient. But anyway, I hope, Bob B is so happy and excited. It makes me look like a dull, boring freak. All right. So, Bob B, we've got some guests in the studio. I'd love you to, when you finish doing your jobs, to sit in and enjoy the show, because your wife has left you, hasn't she?
Thank you. That's why I was on that.
She's in London, isn't it? That's why you're so excited and happy. But she's listening. She's listening,
I know she
better
is.
not say anything nasty.
I love you too much, Mrs. Bobby.
Shamaji, namaskar. Okay, I've got two guests in the studio. I've got Chris Reynolds, who you've been here before. And you heard her before. So she's going to sort of co-host the show, and she's brought in a great friend of hers, Vivienne. So and Ron is sitting minding his own business, or minding her business. Okay, a very good afternoon to both of you. It's lovely to see you both. And tell me about yourself. You're from which part of the world?
Now, where I live.
Where were you kind of created?
I don't know where I was created.
But you were born.
I was born in Blythe.
Say that loudly and clearly.
Sorry, I was born in Blythe.
You're not ashamed of that fact?
No.
No, I thought you were just slurring over that. When people used to ask me, Bob, where are you from? I'm from Bihar, so what? So, and your childhood was spent in Blythe?
Mostly Blythe, then Seton Delaval.
Do you know Sandra?
Do
you know Sandra Michelson?
Yes, she used to be my dentist.
Wow, what a small world. I've known Sandra from 1992.
I knew her a bit before then.
Yeah. No, the reason is because she also used to teach on our course for medical students about complementary therapies. And I've just sent Matt Hudson to Sandra Michelson. She takes hair and dowses from there, and she bakes the most wonderful bread you can get, isn't it?
That's true.
Astley Road, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, well, for me, you see, I see places as people. If you say Seton Delaval is Sandra, automatically. And that's how I see it, Tynemouth, Percy Street, I think of this fella.
I'll have people complaining at my door if you give my address.
So she used to be a dentist, and then she changed and flipped completely when her son, she lost.
Yes.
Because she just went into complementary therapies, because she lost total faith in the Western idea of medicine. So you went to school and just did the normal stuff. What were you good at? What were you bad at? What did you remember?
I quite liked school. It was a nice place to be.
In Blythe?
No,
Seton Delaval.
I went to Astley High School. And then I left there after my CSEs, as it was then, and did a 2-year apprenticeship as a dog groomer.
Dog groomer?
Yeah.
So that's how you started into the veterinary field?
Yeah.
And now you graduated to human beings? Sorry. You come down to human beings, shall we say?
Come down to human beings.
Seriously, but and without any laughing, I really pity human beings, the way they're destroying each other and themselves.
Yeah.
All these, dogs don't do terrorist attacks.
No.
Dogs don't pray. Dogs don't have a religion, but they're nicer people.
Yeah, we've forgotten that we're all connected.
Yes, and children are like animals, isn't it? The innocence of children is just like the innocence of animals. They live in the moment.
Yeah,
they don't plan.
Learned, isn't it, from the parents?
Yes. So I think the less we grow, the better.
That's true.
To keep the innocence, the heart of a child and the mind of an adult, you could say.
Yeah.
When Bob makes all these crazy noises, he's being a kid. Instead of going seeing a boring psychiatrist and getting ECTs, he does it here and gives us ECTs. It's true, laughter is the best medicine. Don't you agree?
Yeah,
you agree that? Okay. So, dog groomer. What does a dog groomer do?
Grooms dogs.
Meaning what?
Cuts the hair, gives them a bath, cuts toenails.
All right. So like podiatry and barber shop.
Yes.
Okay. and a bath. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And why did you join that? Did you love animals?
Because when I was 14, I was given a toy poodle for my 14th birthday.
A toy poodle, not a real one?
No, it was a real one, but that was the size of it.
Oh, so it's called a toy poodle, but it actually lives, breathes.
It's a tiny, little white one.
Okay.
And I didn't realise that at the time that dogs had to have their hair cut. So I used to be walking around with this dog that looked like a bit of a Rastafarian.
That's a good description, isn't it? With a woolly cap.
Yeah.
A white Rastafarian even,
Yeah.
and that to a dog. So it's the wrong species, wrong
Yeah.
color. And did it do Mambo Italiana? Hey, Mambo. Did he do any of that?
Poor dog couldn't see.
Okay, because of the hair in his
Because
eyes.
of the hair everywhere.
It's a bit
It
like-
was like a Rasta. It never brushed
But it's
it.
like a Brezhnev or something with heavy eye bushes. You can't look past it. Okay.
And I was walking him down to the shop one day in St. Dalrymple, and a lady had a corner shop there who was very posh, had 2 poodles who were immaculately groomed.
Oh.
And stopped me one day and said, "Do you realise you're being cruel to that dog? It needs a haircut." So I went home quite upset, told my mum, and she rang this lady who did dog grooming in New Hall.
So your mum also didn't know dogs needed grooming?
No, we hadn't had a dog before.
Okay. And dogs are not just for Christmas?
No, I had him a long time.
Okay.
So this lady came and picked him up, took him away. When I was at school and came back, and I was convinced it was a different dog.
Well,
But he was covered in cuts and he was bleeding.
oh.
And I thought, I'm never going to let anybody cut him
Oh.
again. That's what I'm going to do.
You know, whether it's a
So
dog or
we
your
do a dog
child,
grooming.
the attachment is the same, isn't it? If your child needed a haircut and he's got one ear less, like Van Gogh, you wouldn't mind, wouldn't you?
My youngest son's first haircut, they cut his ear with the clippers.
But they nipped it.
Yeah.
They didn't take his ear off.
No, he's still
So
got both
when he
ears.
said, "I'll take a ear off," he didn't mean I'll cut your ear.
I hope he's not listening.
Yeah. He's still got 2 ears.
Yes.
Where-
Can't see them now for the head.
He's still got 2 years where? In Durham prison.
No, he's at home.
You know, laughter is very important, isn't it?
Very important.
Yesterday I said on a show, I have an injunction against serious people. If you're serious, don't enter the studio, please. There's enough rubbish and pain on the planet. There's enough terrorism of all sorts. I'm not even talking about the 2 brothers who thankfully we got rid of. I'm talking about boring people on Western Road, who look so serious, who look so heavy, man. Why? The world is bad enough. Don't make it worse. Kill yourself.
Don't think I endorse suicide, but
No,
laughter is good.
No, but it is good to share laughter. Mother Pauline told me in convent when I was 4 years old, not me personally, but she was telling the class, and I remember that to this day. He said, if you're miserable, lock yourself. If you're happy, share it. I think that's
true,
good.
yes.
Obviously, if you're so terrible, you need support and love and friendship. That's different. But you're having a bad time. But most people do the opposite. The buses are terribly now. And you know what the doctor turned down and said? Why do doctors have revolving chairs? The doctor turned around and said, and the 2 ladies are waiting. As soon as one finishes, the other one starts throwing her symptoms. We love symptoms, don't we? We love being ill. Why?
Something to talk about,
So are people-
as well as the weather.
So are people's lives so boring that they need to be ill to have something to talk about?
Well,
Maybe some
it's
people
getting
know, yeah.
attention, isn't
Well, what do you
it?
think of illness? I really think illness is a cry for attention.
it
Obviously, you've
is,
got a broken
yeah,
leg.
yeah.
You need the bloody attention. You've got a heart attack. I can't say go and have some Reiki. The bugger will die.
Yes.
But normally all the sniffles and the cold, I'm still suffering. Well, shut your mouth up. Don't tell me. And the biggest thing I go against, people say, don't come near me. I said, what, AIDS? You got just a bloody common cold. What are you frightening me for? They think it's polite. It's the opposite, actually, because you are reducing the immune system.
Not that backed up.
But seriously, isn't illness just a cry for attention?
It is. For
Because the
attention.
body heals naturally if you give it the chance. If you say, what's your formula for health then, Vivienne? What do you do for keeping your health okay?
Nothing.
So, but you're
Just
not.
be.
But you're not interested in illness.
No.
You don't go and read up on the internet. Oh, I've got a sniffle. Maybe it's cancer of the
No,
toe.
just get on with it.
And she's
Okay.
around happy people,
That's
like
right.
me.
And I'm
Okay,
a
I
happy
think.
person.
Well,
Anyway.
they studied happiness. They researched it, and people over 50 have the quality of dropping miserable people. Under 50, you're so insecure, you'll hang on to anyone.
Oh no, get rid of miserable people.
Yeah,
I can endorse.
it's true, isn't it?
I can endorse that.
So, come on,
Yeah.
you say something.
No, I'm just going to say I can personally endorse that.
Like, what did you do at the age of 15?
I used to think I find it very amusing actually when you hear of people saying, "Oh, I've got 520 friends on Facebook." Yeah.
The 520 as miserable.
That's 10 a week to service doc. By the way, I'm a mathematician. Yeah, and now I used to have lots of what I thought were friends years ago, and they were in fact acquaintances. At the right time, that time in my life, they were doing the same sort of things as I, and
so common purpose.
And I thought I couldn't live without them, and now I can honestly say, Doc, I've got two hands, and I can count my friends, real friends, on the fingers of one hand, and probably still have one or two fingers spare, and the other hand spare as well. Lots of acquaintances.
So you don't need lots of friends. They say one rose makes my garden, one friend makes my universe. If you've got one true relationship, it can be husband and wife. It can be friends. I mean, your wife is the wife. You can
I haven't got a wife.
Okay. Wives are very useful,
Are they?
They cook, they clean, they stitch. I mean, it's so bad women don't have wives, It's such a pity. No, but it's true, It takes a long time to realize that you yourself, I myself, am important. And who I mix with. If I mix with happy people like yourself and laugh, I'll go home happy.
Yes.
And
you won't get ill.
But actually in medicine,
So
but in medicine, what do doctors focus on?
Illness.
How many doctors talk about wellness? Never.
That's right. Yeah.
It's like another religion.
Doctors only treat the symptoms, they don't treat the cause.
And by seeing everyone with illness, they become ill themselves. I mean, doctors, the rate of suicide is higher than average population. Male doctors, the rate of... say again?
And vets.
And vets as well. Okay.
Have a high rate of suicide.
Suicide. So what is it in your profession that keeps you, not you personally, but what would one seek in a profession? What do you think? Christine, what do you think?
In a profession, anyway, I think to be happy in whatever you choose
Whatever
to
your
do.
job is.
Yes.
So I'd rather be a dustbin man and happy as be the chief executive and waiting to commit suicide.
Yes.
Definitely.
Because those are very high pressure jobs. Some idiot has to do it, and there's often no satisfaction. The more you do, the more you get blamed.
That's right, yeah.
I mean, like social workers' jobs, you have to be a very spiritual person. Because society doesn't care about its members, that so bad it is that we need social workers. Why should society have social workers? We all social workers. But because we've dumped that job, some person is paid to do it. They do it to the best of their ability. I mean, I haven't met a bad social worker.
With their hands tied behind
with the hands tied
back.
Yes. And they're being scrutinized by the newspaper, by the police, by the teacher, by the parents. The fact that you produced a kid you never needed by accident, the fact that you don't care about it, the fact that you break your marriage up and bring another boyfriend who tries to have sex with a child or abusive, and the fact that the child is locked in a room and then it dies, then social workers are to blame.
Yeah.
No, it's society. Society can't abnegate and say, it's your business. It's society's stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So I am quite clear that we should take more responsibility, and this country perhaps has gone too far in providing, whether it's a health service or this caring service. If somebody wants to kill themselves with alcohol, good luck, man. Don't waste our time and the country's resources. Because too much is spent on chasing. Like if you have children, if one child is hell-bent on being an alcoholic or a drug taker or whatever his or her problem is, you can't deprive the other children of the normal life.
No,
there comes a balance, isn't it?
Yeah, but again, it's all down to wanting the attention. And so if whatever it is, your addictions, any addiction, is down to attention and not loving yourself enough.
So addiction is replacing what you need with what you within you, but filling that hole with some repetitive, boring stuff like drinking, like gambling, like sexuality, like to make that the focus.
Yes.
To get away from your original pain.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coming back to Vivienne. Vivienne, you have a shop now.
I do.
It's a long climb from being a dog groomer with a dog with lots of hair on his face, can't see, to run a shop with real human beings.
That's true.
So
I did
tell us
different things in between.
So are you a multitasker or a multifaceted?
Yes.
You like? Tell us all the things you do, all the different things.
I've done or do now. I've been a lecturer in small animal care.
Small animal care lecturer where?
Kirkley Hall.
That's where I used to take my kids for the sheep sharing and all that in summertime.
Yeah.
Does that still go on?
I don't know that they've got any sheep left anymore.
Why?
Because the man who ran the sheep course, who shared my office, was made redundant at the same time that I was.
But how can Kirkley Hall be without sheep or wheat or... I mean, do they just show videos?
Did he?
No.
Did he leave with the sheep?
Followed.
The Baba black sheep.
Followed.
Have you any wool? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So he was actually a shepherd.
But you can't say black sheep, can you now?
Well, there are black sheep.
But you can't say black
Seen
sheep.
them in the-
Eh?
Not
Yeah,
white
but-
sheep.
How would you describe
I've always
them?
been the black sheep of my family.
Yeah, he's the black sheep. He's the brown sheep of a black. He's the black sheep of a brown family.
That's true, isn't it?
Yeah. Why be so politically sensitive?
I think that has just gone absolutely
OTT.
ridiculous
Yes.
now. Yeah,
Why can't we say black
ridiculous.
sheep?
Yes.
And Americans say black minority ethnic BME community.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that puts everyone in one box. It says we are the white guys and you're the other.
Mm.
So I find that quite difficult actually.
What is this political, if you like, correctness, so to say?
It's living in
It
fear.
never used to be like that years ago, and we never had a problem.
When you were
with those
kids
things.
in your school, you did Baba Black Sheep.
You say it as you saw it.
Uh-huh. I mean, if you saw this guy on the high street, this gentleman, I had to call him a gentleman. I'm on air, you know.
Yeah.
So, how would you say? What would you say? That tall guy, the bald guy, the funny guy, the Asian guy, the brown guy.
Yeah, I'd say, oh, I know Bob. I heard him.
How would you describe him?
Tall, wearing a tracksuit.
Tall and attractive in a tracksuit.
Yeah.
I didn't say attractive.
More of that, thank you very much.
Okay. Because it defines, isn't it? I mean, at one
Yeah.
time people used the word chinky and so on. That's all gone.
Yes.
The word paki is not used anymore. So, to some extent, highlighting racism and all that is good because you're bringing it out.
Yes.
But it shouldn't become so fastidious that you
No.
can't open your mouth without upsetting somebody.
Yeah.
And I think people are getting into a habit of getting upset.
Yeah.
If
If
you-
it's not said with intent,
Yes,
then it should be ignored.
yes, yes, yes. If I have no intention of hurting you.
Yes.
Like if I said I'm having a blonde moment, well, I can't. I've got black hair. How would you respond to that?
It's your choice.
Go on, Bob.
What I was
He gave her a shock like
crept up on you there. What I was just going to say that interests me. That comment about the intent. Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally think that most people, I'm talking generally here now, most people know when someone's intentionally hurting someone with
Yeah.
their comments, and we know the difference. But the thing is, we can't now say a lot of the stuff because someone somewhere is interpreting it as whatever's being said as insensitive. Yet I personally think the vast majority of people know the difference and know what the boundaries are, even though they're pretty grey and unmarked and you can't see them.
But different countries have different boundaries. And I refer to Paris. If in Paris it's okay to be abusive to religion, you can't go and kill people. You just get out of that country. That is Paris, where French people live. And if you can't adjust to their stupid, I would say, way of hurting people, they draw cartoons of Jesus. If you can't do it, hack it, move out of the kitchen if the kitchen's too hot. You can't go around killing people. And okay, it's very precious for you, but for some others, religion may not be precious. You know, if you don't like the hot kitchen, get out. I mean, I'm quite strong on that, you know. It's wrong to be doing and imposing your cultural values as a minority. And not having Christmas in Britain is immoral. But I don't know what's happened to the English people. Oh, we'll call it winter holidays. Why?
Yeah.
I still call it Christmas.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
Christmas.
Still had
It's nothing to do with
Christmas,
yeah.
religion. It's to do with shopping and eating and Primark and getting into debt. That's what Christmas is all.
I think
hated it.
Go on.
I think parents keeping kids off school and away from school and religious instruction or services, whatever religion it may be, is
Yeah.
totally wrong, quite frankly, because
Yeah.
the kids in this beautiful planet of ours need to get a rounded understanding of all
Absolutely.
religions and cultures, etc., and then make their own mind up as to what they want to believe or not believe. you
But
know?
does that happen when you're born? I mean, when you were born, you were rubber stamped a Hindu.
Yeah.
Rubinder Pugal cannot be a Muslim name, cannot be a Christian name, cannot be a
Forget it
Buddhist
tomorrow,
name, cannot.
come on,
Immediately you get a label on you, right? And then you try to get out of it slightly by saying, let's see what Christians are like, let's see what Muslims are like, and so on. But a lot of people get stuck in their own rut and defend it so viciously. How dare they? How dare they? Well, why do you need to defend God? God is there to defend you, I thought. Are you bigger than God that you have to defend God? So, I still don't like the idea of malintent, But if that's the rule...
Mad intent, what do you mean?
Bad intent.
Oh, malintent.
Where did you learn your English like?
I think you said mad intent.
Mal.
I think you were referring to me again, You're looking directly at me when you said mad intent.
Malibu doesn't mean your dad who's bad, Malibu. Okay, so how, in our multicultural society, how do you make it nicer? How do you make it...
I think just ignore, if you like, the protocols and just be yourself. And back to intent. Say what you mean, and if you feel good, say it from the heart.
So don't talk from the head and political correctness.
No.
It's what's inside, not what...
Yeah.
But I think the vast majority of us, would you agree, know when we need to be sensitive of other people's feelings and beliefs?
Yes.
Definitely.
But we also need to know when we are getting oversensitive.
Yes.
I was at a wedding, and this woman says, sitting next to me, she says, I've got my sleeve, I haven't got full sleeve, it's only up till here. It was a Pakistani marriage. I said, so? They might get offended. I said, well, leave. Why are we so... We are walking on eggshells and making life miserable.
Yes.
Isn't it? We are. And I think we should enjoy, like he said a little while ago, a bit more madly than I can. Enjoy the beautiful planet and all that. Bobby!
What you mentioned there, Doc, I mean, I experienced that at a Muslim wedding about a couple of years ago, in that I met someone who I'd known for years and years and years through her brother. It was a lady. And almost like a sister, I knew her as, and I hadn't set eyes on her for years. And she clocked me and I clocked her at the wedding. We were beaming at each other and we walked to each other, and I sort of like the typical, Katrina Kaif person that I am, I stuck my hand out to say hello.
And she wouldn't shake hands?
She wouldn't shake hands.
Well, I mean, I don't want to make too many negative comments today, but if it's that difficult, what the hell are you doing here? You have a right to your beliefs. Well, stay at home then. Don't come out in the public. Because see, my belief is when I'm in the Hindu temple, I'm a Hindu. When I'm in the mosque, I'm a Muslim. When I'm on the street, I'm just a British citizen. And religion is for the heart and not for demonstrating and abusing other people with. Not shaking. What would happen if you touched her? What would happen? She'd get pregnant or something. What? What is this bullshit, It's,
might turn to stone.
She might turn Lot's wife. I mean, we are living... See, the issue is, at one time, India was a separate entity, thousands of miles from Saudi or Bethlehem, where the religions were kept apart and they killed and conquered. Those days are gone. We are all a manufacturing industry. I don't care whether the Chinese... Sorry, you're saying?
Who created religion? Wasn't God.
Well, that's another heavily contentious issue. The adherents will say, no, it came from above, it came from this. There's so much fake going on. I was in Bethlehem. And this Arabic lady is showing me the skull of Adam. I said, has it been carbon dated? No. I said, you really believe that's Adam's skull? Not Adam and the ants.
No, he's still
Adam,
alive.
Yeah. The naughty Adam from whose ribs we all descended. I mean, how do you expect me to believe this, Come on, I went to a Catholic school. I laughed my way through school, I was 12 when I was laughing at that statement. But, this...
But religion is control, isn't it?
And fear.
People.
And fear.
Yes.
Be good here, otherwise you...
control to instigate the fear.
If you can't be a decent person here, don't even dream of heaven. Why not be nice to each other, as he says, enjoy each other, enjoy the thing. I don't know whether Bob is a Hindu or a Muslim or a Buddhist or something. He's just he's a happy soul.
Humanist.
Yeah, but you were born in a Hindu family. But if you don't go to the temple, you don't become a non-Hindu. And if you go to it, you don't become a Hindu. That is just a place where people meet.
Well, I suppose it's
a social get-together.
If we don't go to church, if you like, is it blaspheming or?
Oh, by not go. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I can have my personal relationship with my god or gods, lady gods and male gods, wherever I may be, and I could be in any environment. I don't have to be in church to do that. That's just the body of God or to congregate, and in some cases it's a community centre, to be quite honest.
It's nothing more than that. That's what I believe, that every mosque, gurdwara, temple, church, they're all exactly...
Yes.
And they give you some support. It's like a chat group. You sit there and everyone prays, and there's physical manifestation that your hearts become in resonance. So I'm not decrying that. But without that, sorry.
Do you not think people who go to church like to see themselves as being better than other people?
But that is the most hurtful snobbery possible.
It
I'm
is.
so humble. I'm so humble. I'm humbler than all of you. I'm bloody well. It's like saying.
But going to church doesn't make you any better.
No.
Standing in garage makes you a cop.
Here. Going to church doesn't make you any better a Christian than standing in a car makes you...
No, the garage makes you a car.
I remember that.
The bells of a church in the West End of Newcastle attracted me one Sunday morning for I don't know, maybe divine intervention. I went and I was intrigued and walked through the door, and being the conscious person that I am, I thought I'll sit in one of the pews at the back. And as I sat down, everybody was staring at me. I was thinking, oh, it's maybe because I'm new. But they were sort of getting more indignant as to where I was sitting, because I was sitting in someone's pew.
And you're Mr. Pugle. His name is Pugle. Yeah, all these little stupidities, all these little caricatures. In temples, mosques, there are places designated for the president, the prime minister, the church. But I can only survive in Britain, because I have freedom of expression. The things we say here, and I don't say it with any intent of hurting. So if you're getting hurt, think why you're getting hurt. You're getting hurt because you're choosing not to look beyond the parapet. You're walled in your own little worlds.
But sometimes you're getting hurt because there's something inside of you
that
has that, if you like, feeling. So it's up to you to explore that. Why?
But okay, what could I say to hurt you? You
personally, I
give me something to say that would hurt you.
You're short and fat.
Okay, watch this. Christine, you're short and you're fat.
And so?
That's the point, I yesterday quoted an example on Yawar Hussein's show. There's a chap called M.F. Hussain. He was a street poster painter kind of thing. He turned into the Picasso of India. Very colorful character. He painted Sita, Durga naked. He's drawing Hindu goddesses in India naked. Now, as I say, it takes two to tango. The Indian Hindu idiots were such stupid idiots. They went and bought the paintings. Thank you very much. So I felt very bad about that. Have some self-respect. Don't kill the guy. Don't bring a Kalashnikov. Don't beat him up. But protest at least. So anyway, in over 15, 20 years, enough protest. The Hindus kind of woke up slightly and protested enough for him to leave the country, and he's somewhere in Britain. I'd like to go and piddle on his grave, I mean, he purposely hurt. What I'm upset is not about M.F. Hussain. I'm upset about the impotence of the people in India to allow that. And Amitabh Bachchan, this great guy, he's somewhere here. No, it's not that him. Yes, he's on that poster in Diwar. That guy is the godfather of Indian movies. He tweeted that I've got his painting of such and such, not of a goddess. And I said, Amitabh ji, it would be very nice. I'm opening a postgraduate M.F. Hussain course in Gosforth, Newcastle. All you got to do is send a suitable nude picture of your mother. If we like it, we'll do the course. Up yours, you little bastard. How dare you do it, How dare you do that? So I'm talking about two extremes. In India, we are so supine, everyone walks over us. For centuries, people have walked over us, converted us, raped us, broken the temples, broken this, done that. No problem. Now suddenly they're saying, no, it's not on. But you've given the outsiders the habit. Portuguese came, French came, English came. There was an Italian woman sitting there until recently. Of course, the Turks, Mughals and all came. It's a two-way process, I think it's like joining a motorway. If everyone's 60 miles an hour, you slide in 60 miles an hour and then you make your influence. I'm talking like the language I'm talking after being here from 1978 and after having worked with my community for all these years, working, and I've got real stories to tell. I don't tell you anything from any books. I don't quote anybody. I'm the quotation. I am the book. Why should I quote Gandhi or this one, that? What the hell? I've got ideas too,
Yes.
And I like this guy. Do you know what the first statement he said to me? You tell them. Let's have this conversation again. You just ask the question, I'll answer you.
Yeah, well, I asked
I've never met this guy in my
no.
life. And he walks into the studio and what did you say?
Yeah, I asked, do you like football or do you like the color of the team?
And I said, I like spirituality. Religion just creates problems. Now, these are like two wise men, the gift of the Magi, Honestly, this is an amazing conversation between two. I understood immediately what he's saying. And he hates religion, this guy. I don't hate religion. And he does.
I do. The thing is, I come from a Muslim background. My parents Muslims. My family is still practicing Muslims. I don't want anything happens to them. I don't want to destroy them. I said, okay, you believe and keep it to yourself in your household between you and your God or whoever you believe in. But once you start coming...
Spark something else in you and takes you.
But don't you think people evolve? People evolve by meeting people who are not like them. I'm evolving because I'm talking to short, fat, dumb blonde.
Less of the dumb.
Okay. But isn't humor very spiritual?
Yes.
Humor is, because you can laugh at you. The biggest...
Exactly. You're not taking yourself seriously.
So you drop your ego.
Yeah.
When there was a chap called Vivienne, and in them days, I'm talking about 1820 or something, the washermen, and even now perhaps, they go to the Ganges and bash the clothes and wash them in running water. And he said, if you take your ego places where people will bash your ego, you'll be a better person for it. Because you're shedding that I'm right business. Yeah. Isn't it? I think it's a very powerful statement. Yeah, so I mix with everyone, and everyone teaches me, every single person. If the car on his point of view, this fellow on his point of view, who do I agree with? Excuse me, I only agree with one person. Yeah. Me. Because I'm absorbing. Christine has been quietly observing what's going on.
What did you call me?
Oh, look, she's Christine.
Yeah.
You're Vivienne. Vivienne. CV, Christine Vivienne.
I'm the short, fat one.
Short, fat one. Okay.
Me too.
Okay. What do you think of all this conversation that's going on? Is it help society or does it harm society? The interaction on the radio.
I think
we are agreeing but not quite agreeing, We each sticking to our points of view, but we are not hurting each other.
No, but we need to see someone else's point of view.
Yes. Yes.
We need to be more out there, not singular.
Yes. So in psychology, there's a state of affairs which says you are okay, I'm okay. Means what you're doing is fine for you, and what's fine for me.
That's fine.
You're not okay and I'm okay is Hitler. I'm right, I'm Aryan, I'm this and that, you're a Jew, I'll kill you. The one that is the opposite, I'm not okay and the world is okay, is someone who commits suicide. A lot of Hindi songs based on the Jata hu main, mujhe ab na bulana, I'm going, don't call me, I'm upset, I'm going to kill myself. That kind of thing. Really? That is, I'm not going to bloody kill myself. I won't let anyone else either. So, why do people get so hot and bothered about religion? Mostly, politics next.
I don't know, but if I'm trying to make, if you like, my point, and I say this figuratively speaking, I always try to say it is my opinion.
So exactly, it's not the truth.
No.
If anything, it's my truth.
The way I
because there ain't no ultimate truth.
And that is a very powerful word. Opinion.
Yes.
My opinion.
Well, people say that's only your opinion. I say, yeah, that's the only opinion I can have.
Yeah.
But if everybody loves themselves first, they'll love everybody else.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you're trying to prove others wrong all the time,
waste of time.
Then you're wasting your time. Yeah.
That's
okay.
Ego.
With that, I'll have a break in the program.
It's Red Hot Radio. Spice FM 98.8 FM.
சிங்கநடை போட்டு சிகரத்தில் ஏறு.
अरे भाई वाह, चलोगे मेरे साथ?
ओए बंतिया, ऐदा क्यों बोलदा? ता नाले लुंगी क्यों पाई हुई है?
अरे हम जा रहे हैं नया मद्रासी रेस्टोरेंट जिसका नाम है अम्मा रेस्टोरेंट. वहाँ पर इडली मिलेगा, सांबर मिलेगा और 15 तरह का डोसा मिलेगा. खाओगे?
बस वेजिटेरियन?
नहीं यार, मद्रासी चिकन, फिश सब मिलता है. चलो अम्मा रेस्टोरेंट.
ओ मेरे मुंह में तब पानी आ गया. चलिए.
और चलिए.
अम्मा रेस्टोरेंट, स्पेशलिस्ट साउथ इंडियन cuisine, 4 Denton Road, Newcastle NE15 7BD. Call them on 0191 447 5353 or log on at ammarestaurant.co.uk.
गड्डी रोको.
अरे की होया? अच्छा लसानी जेदा कोई नहीं सानी. की भेजते ने?
Burgers,
Grilled chicken,
kebabs,
Parmesan,
pizza,
peri fish and chips,
peri chicken,
fried chicken,
curries. हाँ तो ਜਿਹੜੇ 5 स्पेशल सॉसेस ਆ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਨਾਲ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਆ.
अच्छा आजा फिर अंदर चल के उन्होंने पूछने हैं नाल खाने हैं. आजा. जी हाँ, लसानी जेदा कोई निशानी. 134 West Road. Telephone number 01912727272.
It's Red Hot Radio. Spice FM 98.8 FM.
No, that's not Dr. Anand playing. We are running a track of music presented by Vivienne. So, Vivienne, getting back on track, sort of, and not talking about race, religion, sex, or any damn thing like that useful. Let's talk about you again. What inspired you to then move on from Kirkley Hall kind of dog grooming, which was brought by that fluffy white poodle?
Rasta dog.
Rasta dog, yeah, a white Rasta dog. Come on, where do you get such things, you know? But you get albino Africans, you know.
Yeah. And you can get breeds of dogs that do have hair like that.
Okay. Call them what? Candy floss?
No, commodores and poolies.
Okay. And then you met this lady who had 2 dogs and told you to go, and then you got yours shaven off. The ear was left, the rest was all chopped. Okay. And that inspired you to become a dog groomer.
Yes.
And you did a course at Kirkley.
I did an apprenticeship.
Where?
You had to do an apprenticeship. It was in a pet shop in at Eton at the time. But when I went to see the careers advisor...
Was it near Chillingham Roundabout?
Yes.
On the right side?
Pets.
Yes, okay.
At the time when I went to see my careers advisor and said this is what I wanted to do, she said, oh no, that's very... it was a high class job to do at the time. It was called a canine beautician.
So what she said? You're
I wasn't capable of it.
Why? You were too coarse and low.
She said I should just set my sights a bit lower and go and work.
Because you're not worth it.
Yeah, go and work.
Why do people careers? How can people say these things? You know, how can you put someone down by saying such a thing?
That is a careers advisor.
Yeah, I've heard this so many times. I believe it totally. You know, your sort. Now, one lady sitting in the chair you did this about 2 years ago said I was told. Your sort, her father was a miner, mother used to take washing in. They were poor, you know. She's a very bright girl. And the careers advisor said, your sort should work in a shoe shop. I'm getting caught. I'm sounding like...
Sean Connery.
Yes, Sean Connery. Yes, that's Sean Connery. Thank you. And your sort should work in a shoe shop. God, I'm getting all shoo. So she did find a career as a shoe shop.
Yes.
And then one day she decided, no, I'm for better. And she became... educated herself, became a company director.
Yeah.
So why say these nocebos?
I didn't believe her. I found
Good on
a
you.
job as an apprentice canine beautician.
So did you tell your mother that that's what she said?
Yeah.
And mother said, rubbish.
No, she says, well, I always knew you were thick.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. And then?
So I found it, there was an advertisement in the Chronicle saying that they were looking for an apprenticeship in the pet shop on the top of Chilly Road.
That one.
So I went and got the job. The first day I was there, I was bitten very badly by a fox terrier.
Oh my God. Did you not run away from?
That's enough to put you
Is
off.
that enough to... Yeah, it's like a surgeon doing an operation, the first patient dies.
Yeah.
And the consultant says, the rest of them will be fine. But by then he's so shaken. Okay. How long were you there?
I finished my apprenticeship in a year because I was really interested. Asked lots of
So instead of 2
questions.
years, you did it in 1 year?
1 year.
Okay. You got your hours in.
Sorry?
How do you do 2 years compression into 1 year? Did you just do small dogs or what?
No, I wish. That's why I've got a bad back, lifting big dogs. No, I was just there
all the
8
time?
o'clock in the morning till 5:30.
So you really put yourself out?
And because I wanted to learn.
You really wanted to learn. So if you want to do something which comes from the heart, you do everything and anything.
Asked questions, watched.
Yeah, so you were really keen.
Yeah.
And then what did you do?
I stayed there for quite a while and became the canine beautician there.
Despite the careers advisor?
Yeah.
So
I wanted to go back and say, done it. But I couldn't find it. And then I think when I was about 21, I opened a dog grooming shop in Seaton Delaval. And that didn't work very well.
Because what was missing? Not enough people, or you're too young for them to trust you? Or?
No, I had quite a lot of customers, but I had a lot of personal problems going on in my
so life was
life
was difficult.
So, and then I'm trying to think what happened then. Then I went to another dog grooming shop and worked there and taught dog grooming. Then worked at the vets. Did lots of things, veterinary assistant.
So from beauty in the animal to actually, the vet means what? Surgery,
With,
medication, injections.
Yeah. Talking to people, making appointments, giving out tablets. Not that I
So
prescribe them.
when they come with their pets, do you say to them, sit? to
The pets are all right. It's the owners that are a bit.
Exactly. Children are often all right. It's the parents who are the
parents.
problem. It's the same thing. It's the same relationship.
Exactly.
Would you say that the dog often expresses the pain of the adult? It comes out.
I think dogs are very sensitive.
And they pick up that.
Yeah, they pick up. And so are cats.
Okay. Why do people have Rottweilers as pets?
Why not?
Why don't people have snakes as pets?
A lot of people do.
But-
Snakes are nice.
So, aren't they more dangerous than, say, Labrador?
No. When I was a dog groomer, we used to get more snappy little Yorkshire Terriers and Westies than we did Rottweilers and Dobermans and
Really?
German Shepherds.
Okay, so what are the most risky dogs to have?
Now,
Yes, I mean, that's someone who's not skilled. It would go and bite a dog, and bite a human actually.
there isn't any risky dogs. It's the people who bring them up
So how do they bring up that turns into a man-eater kind of thing?
because they train them to do that.
So it's the intent of the owner.
Yes.
Yes.
I find it fine. Owner, it feels like slavery, you know. What's the correct word for if I had a dog in my
You'd be a dog owner.
owner? So it's
Yeah.
it's a bit like owning a wife.
But
You know, you don't.
Not really.
How can you own a creature? You know,
you can't. But cats, they choose. They're more independent.
to get some
If they don't like you, they'll
go and
bugger
find
off next
another
door.
home.
But dogs they're sort of trapped, and people use dogs as tools, like sheepdogs and guide dogs.
Yes,
and,
yes. Domesticated them.
and
Yes.
they use them to fight, make money.
Right, right. Just like armies.
Yep. There's
No
a lot
different.
of dog theft going on at the minute.
Dog theft.
theft.
So what? You go and just pick someone's dog and
Yeah, they steal them.
don't
They've
they?
been even taken out of people's yards.
And gardens. They use
So
them.
and
for
where would they
fighting.
sell them? Very far away.
Dog fights. They're used as bait dogs. They do it with cats as well.
Cats fighting.
No, they use the cats to train the dogs to fight.
You use the cat to train the dog to fight.
Yep.
So what does the cat say? Meow.
No,
Punch left.
gets ripped to pieces.
Oh my God. Oh, I see. Just by the cat spitting and. Humans are very perverse, you know.
Yeah, we're not a very nice.
No, we're not a very nice race. The older I get, the more I despair at being a human.
But not all
There are
of us,
some
thankfully.
nice people around.
There are some nice ones, yeah.
There's
Okay.
a lot of people who don't want to look at what's happening. They think, oh well, if it doesn't bother me, it's not going on.
So they turn a blind eye. So you were now actually looking after animals, not just from the beauty point of view, but much more from the health point of view of the dog and the
At the vets,
training
yeah.
and at the vets. Okay. And when did that finish?
When I started at Kirkley Hall,
Okay. So there you became a lecturer.
yes,
And the lecturing was on dog,
small animal care,
small animal, meaning dogs, cats.
reptiles, rodents, goats, pigs.
Right. So not the cattle.
No, didn't do cows.
Uh-huh. Okay, okay.
No
Uh,
cows or horses.
Okay. So that lasted how long? Your
10
small-
years.
Okay. And when was that finishing?
I was made redundant nearly about 5 years ago.
Okay. And then you thought, what do I start? Do I do a dog grooming thing?
No, I couldn't do any dog grooming anymore. Broke my back nearly.
What, lifting animals?
Yeah, it's
It's
I was
hard
a lot
work.
thinner then.
Okay. Yeah, but the
It kept me
spine.
thin.
Well, whether you're fat or thin, your spine muscles is
Yeah.
what's affected, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
So I had to have a major back operation.
You've had a back over. Oh my God! Right.
Yeah. So I stayed at home for a year thinking, oh, this will be good, not having to go to work, not having to do anything. Oh, but I got so bored.
Bored.
And then I kept seeing and being told you need to open a shop, not by physical people.
Uh-huh. You got this sense,
Yeah. So that's what I did. Opened a shop.
and your shop has been online from how long?
I've been there coming up nearly 5 years now.
Okay. Successful.
We're still there.
Which in this climate is, and you're not selling toothpaste which people need or bread.
No.
So this is
sell things that people want.
Uh-huh. But still in the economic climate, people are curtailing their wants a bit more. They're just going on needs, like second-hand cars are more popular. And still your shop is running.
Yes.
and that's a tribute to you. So what's special about your shop? Is it you, or is it your personality, or is it your friendship with nice people? What is it? You tell me. You can't answer the question.
It's Vivienne. It is Vivienne.
What is it? What is in Vivienne that makes her shop run?
She's so compassionate.
Okay.
To
non-judgmental.
No, not in the least.
Mm.
And people are drawn to her.
Because if you're just a gentle, nice, kind soul, people will want to come back again on the pretext of buying some joss sticks or.
Having looked after her shop as well.
Okay.
One does.
Well, your husband is sitting there.
Yes.
Minding her business.
People often come in. Is Vivienne in? Even if it's a cuppa or whatever, have a chat, a reading.
So her personality radiates friendship.
Yes.
Okay. What's been the most influence on your life that's made you who you are, Vivienne?
My grandma and my Auntie Mary.
Grandma means father's mother.
Mum's mum.
Mum's mum. But what's a grandma and what's a nana?
They're the same, just a different name.
No, but I thought the the mother's father was called.
Don't know.
Oh.
What do you think, Chrissy?
I don't think we ought to perhaps all to go that way. Well, I have a granddaughter, and she was told by her mother that the nice grandma
was her mother, of course.
Yes, and the other one, the not so nice one, was Nana, and so that's how she would distinguish. So who do you think I was?
The short, fat, dumb blonde. So I used to think that Nana was the girl's the maternal grandparent, and grandma was the paternal. No, not so.
It doesn't matter. No, it's really who, if you like, the Nana, grandma, whoever they want.
Whichever
to be referred
cottons
to.
on. It's a bit like street numbers. It isn't that going north the numbers increase or going south they increase.
I have my daughter-in-law and her new partner. His mother, she wants to be known as Mama. But
Mama?
But that really, if you like, is a bit of contention because my daughter-in-law is from Venezuela. And that would be actually, Mama would be more like the mother.
Okay. Mama, yes. Mummy, Mama. I mean, the royalty in this country.
Yeah.
Mama, Madame, this all M's, isn't it?
But to me, it doesn't really matter. You know?
No.
I just prefer, I like Nana.
Mm-hmm.
And that suits me, but whatever.
And I'm not a grandma
as long
yet,
as it's with
so
affection.
You live in hope, yes. Same here. I'm not a grandmother yet. I live in hope. This fellow was so has a phone call. Hello, caller. Who's that, please?
Oh, it's Ron here.
Hello.
Hello.
Dish.
Why aren't you working?
I'll move away.
Why aren't you working? She says. Hi, Ron. How are you? Have you been able to listen to anything?
Yes, in between people popping in and.
Oh, what a menace! Customers are such
and asking for Vivienne.
And asking for Vivienne, were they? And they disturbed you sitting in the back listening on the computer to the show, yeah?
Yes.
Come on, put your 2 pennies or £2 worth in. Go on, say something.
Well, there's I missed part of the chat with the Iranian, was it that you?
The urinal. The Iranian guy, yes.
Sorry. Yeah. I only caught part of it. But,
okay.
When you talk about religions and things like that, I think personally it should be left alone. People should keep their own thoughts to themselves.
And not make it a public display or a public war or a public expression of killing.
Yeah.
So killing is one extreme of it, but even expressing and objecting, they're all part of the same process. It leads you to the same end ultimately.
That's right. Yeah. I'm not religious in any way.
Were you ever religious?
I was, I suppose, when I was a youngster. But as we've discussed before, it was sort of, well, here's Sunday, you've got to go. Yeah.
So till what age were you religious, and when did you escape?
I think when I went into the forces, to be quite honest.
Okay.
It was a case of we had church parade, and I was sort of brought up a Methodist, and the Methodist church on our camp was never open on a Sunday. So
All right.
we used to go into the naffy and have a cup of tea and a coffee or a piece of cake. You know.
Okay, but you
So
know,
we're
being in the military and being in a religion are not that different, are they?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Being in the military, in the forces, or being in any religion where you're told what to do, you do this thing this time at this specific place at this time with these people. That's what happens in the whether it's so. It's all about. I believe it's all about control.
Yeah, and I mean that's my life right the way through. You know, I've always done the becking of other people.
Yeah, and everyone who fights fights for God. You know, if the French and the Englishmen are killing each other, they're both fighting for the God, the same one actually. And
Exactly.
and the Frenchman was asked, you know, why do you always win? And he says, we pray. The Englishman says, well, we pray as well. The Frenchman says, but we pray in French, you know. You know, it's that kind of, it's cultural, isn't it? And everyone's doing the righteous thing, whether you come from France or England and you're having a battle. Everyone's doing it for God and country. No, they're doing for their personal vainglory and wealth and
Power. Control.
Power.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other thing that you just talked about was, you know, Vivienne herself. She attracts people. She's, you know, I'm not just doing this to suck up to Vivienne or in any way, shape, or
Wouldn't
form.
work anyway.
People recommend Vivienne from a long way away, you know, and as a tarot reader, she is very,
As a
very
terrorist?
powerful.
As a terror what?
A tarot card reader.
Oh, tarot card reader. I thought she was a terrorist, man. Well, you know, she's come to the studio. She's given me a joss stick.
Ash catcher.
Ash catcher. Sounds like someone's name. Ash catcher. Like Mr. Ash with a catcher. She's given me Goloka Dhoop, made in India. And in Hindi it says, first block, Card Road, Bengaluru, 2010. It's written in Hindi, which I'm reading. What a small world, man. I've been to Bangalore, and she brings me stuff from Bangalore, and she gives me Nag Champa Agarbatti, which, let me tell you,
That's her insight.
made in India.
You know, she knows that you can be at times, let's say, homesick, so she's brought you something from home.
No, that's very kind. And she's also given me a card, and she also, no, very nice card. Heaven and Health Spiritual Shop.
Heaven and Earth.
Heaven and, why do you say Heaven and
That's
Earth?
it. A lot of people are glad that we're here.
Well, it is about serving people, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I did ask her, you might have heard or not, I said, how does the shop survive? It's because she looks after people's needs and gets in things that they want and need, not kind of, and then she doesn't run it like the health service. They come for some agarbatti. There's a 2-week waiting list.
2 day maybe.
I think a lot of you should go to Goa for a holiday one day.
Oh, you're going to pay.
It's actually
I can't pay,
on our plans.
but I've
We
got
have a
about
friend.
22 Goa phone numbers in my, and I can guide you about Goa very furiously. And because, you know, Goa, north of Goa is all commercial, it's all hippies, it's all rasta, it's all needles, it's all condoms. You go to South Goa, it's still untouched. I mean, untouched, I said 10 years ago when I went. And so on, you know, you'll enjoy it. The people are, a lot of Christians there, they're very deeply religious. If the bell goes, they'll stop their shop, they'll pray, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, and then get on with the business. So it's integrated in their day-to-day life, but they don't parade it. Yeah, they have, you see, if you mix any religion with India, it's celebrated. It becomes big. I mean, the Christians in India, I spoke to the Bishop of Newcastle, and he says, I was in India once. I said, tell me one thing, what's the difference between Catholicism there and here? He said, you've got good Catholics here as well, but there, they are passionate. In the daytime, when there's nobody, some farmer will come with a basket of whatever he's collected, leave half in the church, and then walk away. He doesn't need his name registered. It's not given a receipt. It's just an act of love. And someone will sit, and he says, I don't even have to say it. They just sit, meditate, cry, whatever. And I'm watching them from behind the curtains. They'll pray, wipe their tears, and go away. And they feel healed.
Yes.
So it is about healing space. You can't do that in the middle of the street.
Try to provide.
Yes, that's what it's
That's
about,
sure.
isn't it?
And and that's what the shop is. You know, it's people come in, they walk through the door and say, "Oh, straight away, oh, there's something about this shop. It's lovely in here, you know, and you know, and there is a beautiful ambience about the shop."
So it is about service. It is about peace, and it's about values and not about rules.
Yeah.
The other thing I have with people and religion, they take on the rules, but they forget the values.
I only have one rule in my shop.
What is that?
You can't.
You can't laugh.
No, you can laugh as much as you want. But if you're a man, you need to sit down on the toilet, because I hate cleaning up wee on the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
So you better go back and do the needful with wet wipes or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
I even have a sign on the toilet door.
Saying, if you're a man, sit down.
And a diagram, yeah.
I'll have to inspect this. Put it on YouTube and Facebook. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for your call. They'll be released.
Is it on?
Get back to work.
Okay, will do, Gaffer.
Thank you.
Poor fellow. He hears this at home. He hears this at work. What the hell is he meant to do? Poor guy.
Oh, he knows I love him.
Ah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ron.
Bye, Ron.
Thank you, mate.
Bye. It's nice when people phone, you know. So you started a shop 5 years ago. How did you decide what to buy and where from? Thank you.
I didn't. I had to.
How did you get the ideas? Because you're a dog groomer, beautician, lecturer,
I know.
and this is running a shop.
I have a friend who's she was a spiritual minister, and she couldn't drive, so I used to take her to spiritual churches in her car. And in my
But
car,
these are spiritualist churches
Yes.
where they do healing.
Yeah.
It's not ordinary spirituality as we
No,
talk
no.
about.
No.
It's
No.
more structured.
there's a lot of unspiritual people in spiritualism.
Yes. There's a lot of unchristian people in churches.
So I would sit and read and not take much notice. And then I wanted to do a crystal therapy course. But because it was such a high level, you had to have an entry qualification. And one of the entry qualifications was doing spiritual healing.
All right.
So I did spiritual healing and then did crystal therapy. And at the time, I didn't know why I was doing crystal therapy.
What had that to do with spiritual healing exactly?
Exactly. But that's one of the services we give at the shop is crystal therapy.
All right. Okay.
And we're going to be doing classes on learning about crystals.
Okay.
and
Let's talk about your shop. I mean, give the address.
157 Parkview, Whitley Bay.
157 Park View, Whitley Bay, and the postcode?
NE26.
NE26?
3RF.
3RF.
Yes.
RF radio frequency.
Yes.
NE is northeast.
Yes.
26. NE26. 26 letters in the English alphabet.
That's true.
So northeast, 26, 3
RF.
RF radio frequency.
Yep.
Okay, good. I'll remember that for life. Okay. And you open 7 days a week, 5 days a week?
No, I used to be open 6 days a week, but then you need to have a balance between work and home life. And I have a son at home.
Right.
So I'm closed on a Sunday and a Monday. But
Okay.
they're the rest of the time.
So Sunday and Monday. Okay. Sunday people are busy and Monday is people too busy to come in. So Tuesday.
Most of the shops around me are closed on a Monday.
Okay, so it fits in
So
with that.
I used to be
area.
open on a Monday and sit there all day and not see a soul.
Because they say, oh, that place is closed,
It's
anyway.
closed anyway.
So the footfall changes according to the
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So how did you choose the products? What to get?
I wanted
Was
to
it trial and
start
error?
off-
What is it?
Yeah, I wanted to start off just selling crystals. And
Okay.
I spoke to 2 crystal suppliers and they said, your shop won't last if all
you're
you
just
do
selling
is sell
crystals.
crystals.
Okay.
Because not many people are interested in
Or
them.
know about
not many
it
people
or
know
would
about
buy.
them or they just see them as pretty shiny rocks. So then I did incense and did Buddhas and singing bowls and tarot
All that.
cards. And I hate the new age kind of shop because we're not a new age shop.
You're in old age. I mean, old age
I'm
meaning this has been there for
ancient.
ages. Not you got old age pension. I'm saying it's not new age. It's
No.
the new age catching up with the ancient wisdom.
And I wanted to create a space where people could come and they could talk and have a cup of tea and I would just listen because a lot of people don't have anybody to listen to them. They might talk to people but not be heard.
But actually look at someone, pay full attention and just nod your head once in a while.
Yep.
It makes a difference, you know.
And give them
Because they
some
feel valued, they
space.
feel
Yep.
kind of understood.
And lots of people come back. I get people from all over the world come for a reading, and all over the country.
What, tarot card reading?
Yeah.
How long does it take to do a tarot?
How long's a piece of string?
Is there a short one?
Kings and Queens, Knights. Like three of ones.
Okay.
So they're like normal playing cards.
Right.
And out of all the cards that you've shuffled, you've got 3 major cards and 1 minor card. Major, minor.
Okay.
So this tells me that in the past, because that's your past, you've had to make some quite big decisions.
Yeah. All the time. Yeah.
And that a lot of the time your head and your heart argues, and you try to listen to what feels right.
Yeah, listen to my heart always. The head is just
listen to your gut.
Oh, gut. Yeah, gut feeling. I go by gut feeling.
Yes, you should.
The head just gets in the way.
But sometimes your head and your heart pulls you in different directions, and it causes a lot of.
Yeah, the head causes the problem.
Yeah.
The heart is fine. It's the head, the idiot head that says monkey brain.
Chimp.
Okay.
Release your inner chimp. The Empress, she's in your now. So are you on the beginning of a new project, a new relationship, something new that you're going to start doing?
I mean, I've been in Spice for about 6 years. I gave up medicine about 3 years. I've got wonderful friends. I'm always doing new things, you know. Do you know what kills me? Boredom. If I do the same thing for 2 days.
Yeah, but you've done lots of things in your life.
Okay. Yeah, always innovative.
So what's going on at home?
Home. My mother is in the hospital, and I'm getting her back. My son, younger son, has come back from Spain. I'm doing lots of projects with making movies.
There's lots of stuff in your head that needs to come out.
Okay.
And it's
Express
to do
itself.
with your home and what you're doing, what you're passionate about.
Okay.
And there you are. Pentacles offer abundance, but not just money, being happy.
Yeah. I mean, for all my troubles, I'm reasonably happy,
Yep.
you know, and all the time.
And you hide it quite well.
The happiness.
No, the troubles.
Yes.
Because people see you as like you're in control of your happiness, and you've got. It's like you let people see what you want them to see.
Yeah.
They
see me as a laugher, joker. They don't know.
Yeah, but it's not.
But
like
sometimes
that, really.
people get in the wrong end of me, and I really let them have it, and then don't know what hit them.
Because you hide all the other problems that's going on in your life.
Yeah, like Sister Philomena said, any pain, just shut your mouth. Anything good, share.
Yeah.
And
you're
taking
very good at
help is
doing
not
that.
my style. No, but I mix with people socially abundantly. I've got huge number of friends in Newcastle, very good acquaintances. I share my stuff with them quite happily. So I don't need psychiatrists or tablets or rubbish like that.
No, I'm not saying you do, but you.
But there are 2 friends I can just phone up and say, "What do you think of this?" Which is not my style, you know. It's a very girly way of doing things.
No, it's not.
I used to be a total bloke.
It's a
No.
human way of doing
Well, then men have to learn to become more girly. But women
more
talk to each
human.
other. What curtains are you buying? Bloody hell, yeah. If I don't know what curtains I should... No, I used to be very blokey. And now I'm able to ask for help in very simple things. I do take people's advice. Should I put this on Facebook? Should I do that? Should I cut this out? What do you think of this?
But it doesn't matter. You're not listening to your gut with that. You need to go with what feels right for you.
But sometimes my gut,
Not listening.
sometimes my gut is so outrageously out of sync with the rest of the people.
Doesn't matter. It's your opinion.
Okay.
You have to be you. Nobody else can be you.
Does
else is
it not
taken.
need tempering with some friends saying, and by the way, that would cause this and cause that?
But you're letting other people control what you do and how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
And you should just go, no, if I want to put that on Facebook, I'll put it on Facebook.
Okay.
You have to be you because you're pretending that you are, but you're not.
So I'm only letting out the bits of me that are socially acceptable.
Yeah.
And the bits of me that would disturb and irritate people, which are truth. But they're not prepared to listen.
But that's their problem, not yours.
Okay, I get what you're saying. And I accept it. Agree.
Yep. And then once you do that, your world will be complete. You'll be whole again.
Okay, so you're not feeling so fractured.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because at the minute you appear to be this nice, happy, jolly person who's had a fantastic career. I don't know.
I've had a fantastic
personally.
career. Yeah.
But it's like you separate it from yourself, from who you truly are, because your head and your heart controls you. And you try and go with your gut, but you're hanging on to your head and your heart, and you're scared to do what's right for you.
So the gut feeling is what it's about. Yeah. So
Yeah.
more in the gut,
And you
less
hide.
less in the heart.
You have this nice big barrier
Facade.
that you need to get past.
Okay.
But you have everything in there. All these are suits of cards that you need to be complete. And it's up to you if you pick the tools up and use them.
So that's the
To go
advice.
forward,
So
yeah.
go for the gut,
Go for the gut.
less of the
Always go
heart,
with your
and
gut.
even less of the head.
Yeah, your head will get you in all, and your heart in all kinds of bother. So
Okay.
choose 4.
Oh, yeah, there's more.
Any,
So these are oracle cards.
These
now.
are oracle cards.
So any 4.
Any 4. Any 4 that says pick me. Listen to your gut.
There you are. 4 cards.
Now I've got a pile of messy cards. Chris can tidy. You know what I said? Pay attention to your gut.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. What
It
does
says
it
pay
say?
attention.
Yeah.
Notice repetitious signs and your inner guidance, as this can yield valuable information. Repetition means happening again and again. So don't ignore
The
something
universe
that's
gives
frequent.
you
Signals.
signals all the time, and if you
So pay
hiding
attention.
behind your wall,
Then you
You're
don't.
not
Then
looking.
you're. Yeah. Okay. Right. This says contemplation time. Spend time alone, meditating upon what you truly desire. Okay.
yeah, be true to yourself.
Have faith. Your prayers are manifesting. Remain positive and follow your guidance. Okay. So
It's all
again,
about
believe,
following your gut.
following
Yeah.
your gut. Yes. All 3 have said exactly the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And make a wish. This is a magical moment. Make a wish and enjoy its manifestation. And follow your gut. So make a wish. Stick to your gut. Have faith. Contemplate alone to
Yep.
find out what I really want.
And be true to yourself.
And be true to myself. Not please people pleasure. And pay attention.
Too many people take notice of other people's opinions and try to live their life through
According to other people's
and it doesn't-
puppeteering.
Yeah, and we have a library at the shop full of, it's quite big, isn't it, Chris? Full of spiritual books, and lots of people come in and go, which one's the best one to read? And I'm going, don't know, I haven't read them.
Just pick one.
Because there's someone else's opinion, they're not mine.
Yeah. But I think every human is a book. Everyone's teaching everybody
yeah.
else. If you're prepared to learn, let others do the reading. I'm like the MP, and somebody idiot is doing the research.
That's right.
And people quote left and quote. That's so boring, man.
Oh,
Tell me what you want to speak your mind, and don't quote people.
I get people come in for a reading and they'll sit there and they'll write down King of Wands, and I'll go, wasting your time writing it down because what I'm telling you isn't what a book's going to tell you.
No. This is raw and
This is
on
what
the spirit.
I'm getting. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. That was not that long, and it's accurate.
You're more than welcome. You'll have
and
to
it's
come to the shop and
helpful.
have a proper one.
Yes, I will definitely have a proper one. I'll film it and put it on YouTube, the ever-present godly
help me.
YouTube. I will. I do things like that, like if someone's got an art shop. My friend Arif Hassan has got an art shop. He's a nutritionist. He's from Pakistan. He and his...
Can't even remember what the course is called. Gone completely.
Okay, it's all right.
You'd be on the phone now.
It doesn't compute. How dare you not remember what I'm doing? Mom, I study all the time. Okay, so and
Bit of an age gap.
Josh is at home with you.
Yes, he's
David's
17.
away.
Yeah, David lives by himself with his 2 cats.
They're all very veterinary kind of family,
Yeah, we've got 2 cats.
Uh-huh.
Fat one and an old one.
Okay. Christine, anything you want to tell me about Vivienne that you know? Because nobody wants, in the English culture particularly, everyone doesn't say, I'm good at this, I'm good at this, I'm good at this.
Yeah, I think Vivienne is very good at, if you like, getting information out of people. I don't mean it like
She's from the
torturing
like
people.
She's from CIA or RAW or ISI,
but
MI5.
people are able to talk to her
Okay.
because of
And they
way-
spill the beans completely.
Yes,
Because
and
of the massive rapport and warmth.
Sometimes to Vivienne's detriment, because she has a lot of people that take her for granted, and so that is a misuse, I believe, if you like, of her generosity.
How do they
So-
express lack of respect for that? Taking for
very
granted.
often free readings.
They expect free reading.
Yeah.
But she makes a living out of that.
Yeah, like she's just done for you. They think that that's her time, you know, she's there in the shop. Oh, can you do me a quick
Couple
reading?
of cards.
Yeah.
But have you got no rate chart or anything up there?
Yeah.
But still they want a free one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm getting good at saying no now.
She's getting better.
There's a book called Don't Say Yes When You Want to Say No.
Oh, no, I tell people that all the time.
Okay.
But not
Yeah, she's
practicing what you
good,
preach.
good giving advice, but not taking it herself.
No. Buddha said when you're pointing a finger at someone, 3 are pointing back at you. You know. Often we give the advice that we need.
Yes.
A lot of doctors. I mean, I can't name names. One lady was grossly overweight, and she's telling everyone to lose weight, and they're all sniggering and at least mentally. So there's all that stuff goes on. You know, we often give advice that we really need ourselves. I mean, okay. So I would love you to connect me with people who are interesting people, who are people of the world, who are not religious bigots, who are not kind of racist, who are not. No, I'm saying, but you do meet people like that. I just like the human spirit, free spirit, who's artistic, musical, drama, poetry, who has the courage to be themselves and not that rich. People don't have to be rich, but they're rich of spirit. They're rich of social connection.
I'm not rich. I don't have money, but I'm rich in lots of other ways.
Exactly.
I have lots of very good friends and family.
So you enjoy that aspect of being Vivienne.
Yeah. And I'm very grateful for what I have. There's a lot of people who have a lot less than I have.
Well, they might, and some have lots of zeros in their bank account, but they can't give.
Yeah, but it doesn't make you happy.
No. Money is necessary. It's not even a necessary evil. Electricity is necessary. Petrol is necessary. But you can't have your car full of petrol and then what? I don't know driving. Or it's the wrong petrol. It's the same thing, you know. You can have money, but if you can't give it, it's no point having it. No. So there are a lot of poor rich people, and there are a lot of rich poor people.
I'm a rich poor person.
Okay. I mean, I don't mind a little.
Should give you a last halfpenny, although halfpennies don't exist now, of course. But
you can have me last penny.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're spending time with people you like, if you're doing the things you like, why would you be sitting bitter complaining?
You wouldn't. It's not like going to work for me. It's like a second home.
So, yeah. So you slip from one home to the other and back.
Like that for the rest of us as well.
No, but you all look happy and you're sharing happiness or peace. I mean, happy doesn't mean rah, rah, ha, ha, ha kind of happiness. It's a blissful state. It's a bliss state, isn't it? You know the Sanskrit word for bliss? Anand. I'm just leading up to that word, yeah. Anand means happiness without a cause. Because happiness has to do with why are you looking happy? Oh, I have just won the lottery. I'm happy. Oh, yes, my dad said this. But that's with a cause. I'm in a blissful state means, what are you happy for? I am. What can you do about it, man? And that, and I've heard a lot of Deepak Chopra tapes and CDs. All these great leaders, they've had. I mean, in a way, they're like a form of religion, isn't it?
Yeah.
New Age religion. It doesn't have to have a god in it. It's very spiritual. For instance, Deepak Chopra, who I know a little bit more of, he quotes Rumi, who was a poet from, I think, Iran.
Yeah.
And other such people. So he's taking the best from all over the world. It's like an international poems.
Chopra.
But if it feels right for you, then you take that bit out of however big the book is.
Yes. Oh, yes. I mean, from Buddhism, I take the point of two things. One is... yes, in the expectation is the pain. If something you're expecting and it doesn't happen, you'll be in severe pain, you know. And the other one's when you point a finger at someone, 3 points back at you.
Yeah.
And don't worry.
And then there's that, is it the Lord's Prayer? What is it called? The courage to change what you can. Wisdom to change what you can't. And then something to know the difference. There's some things on the planet we can't change. Then stop talking about it. If you want to change something, well, talk about it, act on it, and get the change in your own way, in your own small way, instead of being frustrated. A lot of people I meet, they have very strong opinions, but they do nothing about it. I mean, it's so easy to do an e-petition. It's so easy to take a flag. Oh, no, I can't do that. No. So let's just talk about it.
I get a lot of people coming in the shop and say, have you got any advice? And I go, yeah, don't worry.
Okay.
Doesn't change anything.
No.
Just makes you feel awful.
Do you feel that most of the things we worry about just don't come to pass?
Yeah.
We just get into a lather.
Yeah.
And when it happens, it happens. Ke sara aksara.
And it'll happen whether you worry about it or you don't.
So why waste time
worrying about
feeling
it?
bad about it? Yeah.
But if things happen like that, it's probably pushing you on to a different path, I believe.
Yeah. So again, like
Happens
my
for a
tarot card
reason.
says, listen, meditate, choose your path,
Yep.
and don't be deviated by what others say. Just do it.
We all have choices.
Well, I mean, I wasn't doing medicine, and I'm here, and I truly enjoy this. 5 days a week, I have to find the people, be late for some.
Yeah.
And then I'll be putting this camera, that camera, and the sound from the studio all together. And that all takes another 3 hours at least. And when I have more cameras, like I did an Islamic show filming, I had 2 DSLRs and this camera and the studio sound, and getting it to, and pinching from the web. It was the birth of the Holy Prophet. So I thought, this is a good time. I've got a lot of Muslim friends. Why not enjoy it? I mean, if I, as a non-Christian, can celebrate Christmas, why shouldn't I, as a non-Muslim, celebrate exactly the same process for the Holy Prophet of theirs?
Yes.
And then Krishna, Navratri will come, the birth of Krishna, Lord Krishna from the Hindu side. See, in India, there's so many faiths that every day is a festival. Today is Guru Nanak's birthday, Guru Govind's birthday, Mahatma Gandhi's birthday, Nehruji's birthday.
Excuse for a party.
Exactly. How does it matter? But the thing is to imbibe some of the values of what the Prophet had. I imbibe the values of what Jesus had. I was saying from Jesus I get compassion and forgiveness. Isn't it?
That's true. I get a lot of people they come in and have a moan. Oh, the glass is always half empty. I go, well, be grateful you've got a glass.
Well, this fellow with bad feet was grumbling until he saw someone in hospital with bad shoes, was grumbling. Then he went to hospital and found someone with no feet. There's always someone worse off.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Isn't it? And instead of focusing on your negativity, thank God just to be alive.
Still breathing.
Well, the breathing thing brings me to heart math. Have you heard about it?
Yes.
Have you heard about it? Sometime I'd like to demonstrate with a talk at your place, free. If you give me a joystick, I'll take
give
it.
you a cup of tea.
Okay, I'll have the cup of tea then. If you can collect some friends, I do a talk on stress. And the main things I emphasize there is one, that stress is not the outside, it's the stressors. You create the stress, you create the adrenaline, you create the corticosteroids. And the second is breathing is a very good technique. By controlling your breathing, you control your heart, which controls your brain, which controls your mind. And controlling the mind, you have to be Swami Ramdev. Sit in the Mount Everest, keep doing this all the time.
Chilly.
No women in your life. Well, what the hell, Eat just very simple food. Fine, it's fine for him. Low testosterone. Good for him. But not my path. I admire him. People like that. So, for me, they are models of one way of doing it, but that's not the only way.
No. Many pathways.
So, it's been great fun having you both over. And exciting discussion on religion and politics. I don't know why we don't discuss sex, but never mind. That's all that's left to discuss. Taboo.
What that is.
Taboo. Yeah, well, what can I say? Whatever I say will be too double entendre. I'll shut my mouth, put on some music and shut my face. Thank you very much, both of you.
You're
They shall be on
welcome.
YouTube
Thank
tonight.
you.
God be with you.
And
Whichever
you.
God you have, and if you don't have anyone, you can have mine, says Rob Pugel. The Prophet Pugel says, may my God be with you.
Yes.
If you're so terrible, you need support and love and friendship. That's different. But you're having a bad time. But most people do the opposite. The buses are terribly now. And you know what the doctor turned down and said? Why do doctors have revolving chairs? The doctor turned around and said, and the two ladies are waiting. As soon as one finishes, the other one starts throwing her symptoms. We love symptoms, don't we? We love being ill. Why?
Something to talk about,
So are people-
as well as the weather.
So are people's lives so boring that they need to be ill to have something to talk about?
Well,
Maybe some
it's
people
getting
are, yeah.
attention, isn't
Well,
it?
what do you think of illness? I really think illness is a cry for attention.
it
Obviously, you've
is,
got a broken
yeah,
leg.
yeah.
You need the bloody attention. you got a heart attack, I can't say go and have some Reiki, the bugger will die.
Yes.
But normally all the sniffles and the cold, I'm still suffering. Well, shut your mouth up, don't tell me. And the biggest thing I go against, people say, don't come near me, I said, what, AIDS? You got just a bloody common cold, what are you frightening me for? They think it's polite. It's the opposite actually, because you are reducing the immune system. Not that backed up. But seriously, isn't illness just a cry for attention?
It is.
Because the body heals naturally if you give it the chance. If you say, what's your formula for health then, Vivienne? What do you do for keeping your health okay?
Nothing.
So, but you're not. But you're not interested in illness.
No.
You don't go and read up on the internet. Oh, I've got a sniffle. Maybe it's cancer of the toe.
Just get on with it.
Okay.
And she's around happy people.
That's
like
right.
me.
And I'm a happy person.
Well,
anyway.
They studied happiness. They researched it, and people over 50 have the quality of dropping miserable people. Under 50, you're so insecure, you'll hang on to anyone.
Oh no, get rid of miserable people.
Yeah,
I can endorse.
it's true, isn't it?
I can endorse that.
So, come on, you say something.
No, I'm just going to say I can personally endorse that.
Like, what did you do at the age of 50?
I used to think I find it very amusing actually when you hear of people saying, "Oh, I've got 520 friends on Facebook." Yeah.
The 520 as miserable.
That's 10 a week to service doc. By the way, I'm a mathematician. Yeah, and now I used to have lots of what I thought were friends years ago, and they were in fact acquaintances. At the right time, that time in my life, they were doing the same sort of things as I, and
so common purpose.
And I thought I couldn't live without them, and now I can honestly say, doc, I've got two hands, and I can count my friends, real friends, on the fingers of one hand, and probably still have a one or two fingers spare, and the other hand spare as well. Lots of acquaintances.
So you don't need lots of friends. They say one rose makes my garden, one friend makes my universe. If you've got one true relationship, it can be husband and wife. It can be friends. I mean, your wife is the wife. You can
I haven't got a wife.
Okay. Wives are very useful, They cook, they clean, they stitch. I mean, it's so bad women don't have wives, It's such a pity. No, but it's true, It takes a long time to realize that you yourself, I myself, am important. And who I mix with. If I mix with happy people like yourself and laugh, I'll go home happy.
Yes.
And
you won't get ill.
But actually in medicine,
so
but in medicine, what do doctors focus on?
Illness.
How many doctors talk about wellness? Never.
That's right. Yeah.
It's like another religion.
Doctors only treat the symptoms; they don't treat the cause.
And by seeing everyone with illness, they become ill themselves. I mean, doctors, the rate of suicide is higher than average population. Male doctors, the rate of say again.
And vets.
And vets as well. Okay.
Have a high rate of
Suicide. So, what is it in your profession that keeps you, not you personally, but what would one seek in a profession? What do you think? Christine, what do you think?
In a profession, anyway, I think to be happy in whatever you choose
Whatever
to
your
do.
job is.
Yes.
So I'd rather be a dustbin man and happy as be the chief executive and waiting to commit suicide.
Yes.
Definitely.
Because those are very high pressure jobs. Some idiot has to do it. And there's often no satisfaction. The more you do, the more you get blamed.
That's right, yeah.
I mean, like social workers' jobs, you have to be a very spiritual person. Because society doesn't care about its members, that so bad it is that we need social workers. Why should society have social workers? We all social workers. But because we've dumped that job, some person is paid to do it. They do it to the best of their ability. I mean, I haven't met a bad social worker.
With their hands tied behind
with the hands tied
back.
Yes. And they're being scrutinized by the newspaper, by the police, by the teacher, by the parents. The fact that you produce a kid you never needed by accident, the fact that you don't care about it, the fact that you break your marriage up and bring another boyfriend who tries to have sex with a child or abusive, and the fact that the child is locked in a room and then it dies, then social workers are to blame.
Yeah.
No, it's society. Society can't abnegate and say, it's your business. It's society's stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So, I am quite clear that we should take more. Namaste, Adab, Sat Sri Akal. Dr Anand here, recovering from Bob B's program. I've taken a couple of aspirin, as the GP normally does. after a very difficult patient. But anyway, I hope, Bobby is so happy and excited. It makes me look like a dull, boring freak. All right. So, Bobby, we've got some guests in the studio. I'd love you to, when you finish doing your jobs, to sit in and enjoy the show, because your wife has left you, hasn't she?
Thank you. That's why I was on that.
She's in London, isn't it? That's why you're so excited and happy. But she's listening. She's listening, you know.
I know,
you better not say anything nasty.
I love you too much, Mrs. Bobby.
Shamaji, namaskar. Okay, I've got two guests in the studio. I've got Chris Reynolds, who you've been here before. And you heard her before. So she's going to sort of co-host the show, and she's brought in a great friend of hers, Vivienne. So and Ron is sitting minding his own business, or minding her business. Okay, a very good afternoon to both of you. It's lovely to see you both. And tell me about yourself. You're from which part of the world?
Now, where I live.
Where were you kind of created?
I don't know where I was created.
But you were born.
I was born in Blythe.
Say that loudly and clearly.
Sorry, I was born in Blythe.
You're not ashamed of that fact?
No.
No, I thought you were just slurring over that. When people used to ask me, Bob, where are you from? I'm from Bihar, so what? So, and your childhood was spent in Blythe?
Mostly Blythe, then Seton Delaval.
Do you know Sandra? Do you know Sandra Michelson?
Yes, she used to be my dentist.
Wow, what a small world. I've known Sandra from 1992.
I knew her a bit before then.
Yeah. No, the reason is because she also used to teach on our course for medical students about complementary therapies. And I've just sent Matt Hudson to Sandra Michelson. She takes hair and dowses from there. And she bakes the most wonderful bread you can get, isn't it?
That's true.
Astley Road, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, well, for me, you see, I see places as people. If you say Seton Delaval is Sandra, automatically. And that's how I see it, Tine mouth species, wrong color. And did he do Mambo Italiana? Hey, Mambo. Did he do any of that?
Poor dog couldn't see.
Okay, because of the hair in his eyes.
Because of the hair everywhere.
It's a bit
was like a rasta. Never brushed it.
But it's like a Brezhnev or something with heavy eye bushes. You can't look past it. Okay.
And I was walking him down to the shop one day in Seton Delaval, and a lady had a corner shop there who was very posh, had two poodles who were immaculately groomed. And stopped me one day and said, "Do you realise you're being cruel to that dog? It needs a haircut." So I went home quite upset, told my mum, and she rang this lady who did dog grooming in New Hartlepool.
So your mum also didn't know dogs needed grooming?
No, we hadn't had a dog before.
Okay. And dogs are not just for Christmas?
No, I had him a long time.
Okay.
So this lady came and picked him up, took him away when I was at school, and came back, and I was convinced it was a different dog.
Well,
but he was covered in cuts and he was bleeding. And I thought, I'm never going to let anybody cut him again. That's what I'm going to do.
Whether it's a dog or your child, the attachment is the same, isn't it? If your child needed a haircut and he's got one ear less, like Van Gogh, you wouldn't mind, wouldn't you?
My youngest son's first haircut, they cut his ear with the clippers.
But they nipped it.
Yeah.
They didn't take his ear off.
No.
So when he said, "I'll take a ear off," he didn't mean I'll cut your ear.
I hope he's not listening.
He's still got 2 ears.
Yes. I can't see them now from the head.
He's still got 2 years where? In Durham prison?
No, he's at home.
Laughter is very important, isn't it?
Very important.
Yesterday I said on a show, I have an injunction against serious people. If you're serious, don't enter the studio, please. There's enough rubbish and pain on the planet. There's enough terrorism of all sorts. I'm not even talking about the 2 brothers who thankfully we got rid of. I'm talking about boring people on Western Road, who look so serious, who look so heavy, man. Why? The world is bad enough. Don't make it worse. Kill yourself.
Don't think I endorse suicide, but laughter is good.
But it is good to share laughter. Mother Pauline told me in convent when I was 4 years old, not me personally, but she was telling the class, and I remember that to this day. He said, if you're miserable, lock yourself. If you're happy, share it. I mean, I think that's
true,
good. You know,
yes,
I mean,
yeah.
obvious Percy Street. I think of this fella.
I'll everybody.
Okay.
I'll have people complaining at my door if you give my address.
So she used to be a dentist, and then she changed and flipped completely when her son she lost.
Yes.
Because she just went into complementary therapies because she lost total faith in the Western idea of medicine. So you went to school and just did the normal stuff. What were you good at? What were you bad at? What did you remember?
I quite liked school. It was a nice place to be.
In Blythe?
No, Seton
Seton
Delaval.
Delaval.
I went to Astley High School,
Uh-huh.
and then I left there after my CSEs, as it was then,
Uh-huh.
and did a 2-year apprenticeship as a dog groomer. In
Dog groomer.
Yeah.
So that's how you started into the veterinary field.
Yeah.
And now you graduated to human beings. Sorry. Or you come down to human beings, shall
Yeah,
we say.
come down to human being.
You know, seriously, but and without any laughing, I really pity human beings, you know, the way they're destroying each other and themselves.
Yeah.
All these, I mean, dogs don't do terrorist attacks.
Nope.
Dogs don't pray. Dogs don't have a religion, but they're nicer people.
Yep. We've forgotten that we're all connected.
Yes. And, you know, children are like animals, isn't it? The innocence of children is just like the innocence of animals. They live in the moment.
Yeah,
They don't
it's
plan.
learnt, isn't it, from
Yeah.
the parents?
Yes. So I think the less we grow, the better.
That's true.
I mean, to keep the innocence, the heart of a child and the mind of an adult, you could say.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when Bob makes all these crazy noises, he's being a kid. Instead of going seeing a boring psychiatrist and getting ECTs, he does it here and gives us ECTs. It's true, you know, laughter is the best medicine. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Isn't it? You agree that? Okay. So, dog groomer, what does a dog groomer do?
Grooms dogs.
Meaning what? It talks.
Cuts the hair, gives them a bath,
Uh-huh.
cuts toenails.
Uh-huh. All right.
check.
So, like podiatry and barber shop.
Yes.
Okay. and
Animals.
a bath. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And why did you join that? Did you love animals?
Because when I was 14, I was given a toy poodle for my 14th birthday.
A toy poodle, not a real one.
No, it was a real one, but that was the size of it.
Oh,
It
so
was
it's called a toy poodle, but
yeah.
it actually lives,
It
breathes.
was a tiny,
Yes,
little
okay.
white one.
Okay.
And I didn't realise that at the time that dogs had to have their hair cut. So I used to be walking around with this dog that looked like a bit of a Rastafarian.
That's a good description, isn't it? With a woolly cap.
A white Rastafarian even,
Yeah.
and that to a dog. So it's the wrong